Gascoigne going to have a crack. He is, you know. Oh, I say! Brilliant! That is schoolboy's own stuff. Oh, I bet even he can't believe it.
Good morning and good morning to you all. Welcome to this Saturday morning. Good morning, Tottenham away episode, guys. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful weekend. It is match day, my favourite part of the day. It is match day indeed. And the good news, guys, let's get straight into that. Christian ROMERO has been past fit and able to play, which is a big plus for Postecoglou, as he called the Argentines team's most influential defender last week, following his departure early in the draw at Brentford, following a head injury. That means the Tottenham fans will now get to see how the partnership between ROMERO and the 43 million signing Mickey van der Ven worked for more than 11 minutes or so. So, guys, absolute boost. It's an absolute boost having our main centre-back, the main man, back in the team. We was a worry first, but there was so much confusion over, was it a concussion injury, was it not, would it have to sit out for 10 days, will it not? And thankfully that is now been all cleared up. There was an error on how the subject, listen, whatever the case may be, it is all sorted, and Christian ROMERO is available for today's match against Man United at home, our first of the season at home, versus Manchester United. What a game to start the season off with in front of our home fans. So it's an absolute boost. There is no other injury concerns in regarding the squad, which is always a plus. It's always good for a manager. His first official league game at home, where Ange Postecoglou will be making his Premier League debut. And it's good for him and an absolute boost for him to have everybody available. So there is no injury concerns for those who for those who would be starting 11 and the rest of the the subs. The teams, guys. Obviously, nothing will be official to an hour before kickoff. My thoughts in my mind, and what I've been thinking about this for the last few days, is he going to stick or is he going to twist? Is he going to change something in a starting lineup? Is we like this? Because obviously, I said there's the forwards, for example. We know the difficulties that we have at the back defensive wise, but forward line I thought was a bit disappointing. But in the flip side of that, there wasn't a lot of spaces to really attack beyond, because obviously how compact Brentford were. So the players like Son and Richarlison, just to name two, rely in their game. They rely on a lot of spaces being left behind the defence to get onto, like the likes of Maddison or even Basuma, to put them through. And they didn't have a lot of those spaces because of the deep line that Brentford played, in that game. So obviously Manchester United will be a different sort of proposition. Once they'll be having a more of an attacking threat, due respect to Brentford. If Man United have the chances that, say, Brentford missed, they will put them away, because the quality of the players they have in the forward line is a lot superior than Brentford's. So we won't be forgiven if we make those sort of mistakes or those sort of errors defensively. But at the same time, from our attacking point of view, they will have a high line. They will leave probably more spaces behind it, and that could facilitate things for the likes of Richarlison and Son and even Decky. So do I expect a lot of changes? No. My feeling is that Ange will kind of stick with the 11, I would like to say. I think he'll probably stick with the same 11, maybe one change or so, depending nearer to the game. But that could be like a technical, tactical, rather than because somebody played bad last week. But right now, and it's early morning here, guys, in the UK. My feeling is that he's going to stick with the same forward line. I think Richarlison, Decky, and Son will all start today in that same in their respective positions. I think the midfield, I see Skip, Bissouma and Madders taking their places there. Maybe a chance for the likes of Lo Celso and later in the game. Or I would love to see Lo Celso in the side. I'd like to see Solomon given an opportunity from the bench. I think those players could make an absolute a really good impact off the bench as well. And at the back, obviously, with the boost that Romero's available, I mean, that is like, a defence with Romero is completely different with a defence without it. Let's be honest, guys. So having all due respect to Sanchez, I thought had a decent game against Brentford, coming on cold for Romero after 11 minutes. For me, having Romero there, Van der Ven, I thought had a really solid debut. Udogie, who I liked. Udogie will be facing a different kind of opposition today. So, it's going to be a lot of learning curve for Udogie. But for Spurs fans, guys, he's a young kid, 18 years old. If he does go through those difficulties, nothing but encouragement. 18 years old. I think he's got a real bright future ahead of him. I think he'd be a really good left back for Spurs. But he will make mistakes along the way. It's just a case of supporting them through them, and the growth always happens. And obviously, I feel Emerson will keep his place. Up and down game against Brentford, but I feel he's still done enough to keep his place ahead of Porro. So, like I said, I don't see a lot of changes, if any, other than Romero obviously taking his place back in the team and not Sanchez. Otherwise, if Romero wasn't fit, Sanchez would have started today, and I would have probably seen that as the only change. And obviously, Vicario keeps his place in goal. Vicario had a really good. I thought, for all the worries that we probably had in pre-season, I thought he had a solid debut overall against Brentford. And once you have those players like Romero, Van der Ven, Vicario, and Bissouma in front, the longer those guys play together, the stronger they become. Their understanding becomes a lot better, and their performances as a result of that will come a lot stronger. That's the base, the solidity, and the spine that we have to really work with and get them to play as many games as possible to become stronger. I think if we can get that base really strong with those players I just mentioned, I think everything else will fall into place. That's my feeling, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that, guys. And also, I just wanted to add one last thing before we log off. Protest against the board, Levy and what have you, will take place at 1 o'clock, between 1 o'clock and 3 p.m. out opposite the store today, opposite the shops, the official Tottenham Hotspur store will be opposite that. And then from 3 to 5, there will be a Tottenham Hotspur Trust demonstration against the ticket prices. They're two separate things. I've been hearing a lot of jib about this, about the two happening at the same. They ain't gonna happen that way. There's one and the other. Of course, the protest will be also against the ticket prices. They will join them to support their demonstration only for the ticket prices. So let's not mix the two things up, because a lot of rubbish has been said on the accounts of the people that are protesting against the board. So let's respect everybody in this scenario. There's no hoodlums and no thugs or anything like that. All these protests are always done in a respectful manner. Those of you that attended it, that have been there and attended it and seen it firsthand, they've always done so in a respectful manner. So please respect those that protest. If you don't want to be part of it, you don't want to take part of it, whatever it is, you should not be part of it, that's absolutely fine. But allow those guys to do their thing. So 2 separate times, just and two different scenarios there. So, but both should be respected to demonstrate what they wish to demonstrate for. Right, I hope that's cleared that one up, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, forever always, come on, you Spurs!
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.